Hey everyone, welcome back to the Budget Seed. I'm Peter. And today I'm so excited to share something really personal with you. Something that I think is going to resonate with a lot of you watching right now. It's my journey from being buried under $10,000 in debt to building a path toward true financial freedom. And I'm going to walk you through 5 life-changing steps that you can start today to take control of your money and build the life you've always dreamed of. So if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, if you're feeling overwhelmed by bills, or if you're dreaming of a life where you're free to do what you love without the constant stress of money, then this video is for you. I've already paid off $2,000 of my $10,000 debt in just 1 month. And I'm on track to be completely debt-free in 6 months. Which feels absolutely incredible. So stick around, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the notification bell, and let's get started on your journey to financial freedom together. I promise you're going to leave this video with actionable steps that can change your life. Just like they've changed mine. Before we dive into the 5 steps, I want to take you back to where this all started for me. Because I think a lot of you might see yourselves in my story. 2 years ago, I was in a really dark place financially. I had $10,000 in debt, and it felt like a mountain I could never climb. That debt came from a mix of things that just piled up over time. I had $4,000 in medical bills from an unexpected hospital visit after I got really sick one winter. I didn't have insurance at the time, so those bills hit me hard. Then there was a $3,000 personal loan I took out to cover some car repairs. My car broke down right when I needed it for work. And I didn't have any savings to fall back on. And the rest was $3,000 in credit card debt that just kept growing because I was using my card for everything. Groceries, gas, even little things like coffee runs. Because I didn't have enough cash to cover my expenses. I was working a 9-to-5 job as a customer service rep. Making $3,000 a month, which sounds decent, but I was living paycheck to paycheck. Every month I'd pay my bills, make the minimum payments on my debts, and by the end of it, I'd have maybe $50 left in my bank account. I remember one night, I was sitting on my couch, staring at my bank account on my phone, and I saw that $50 balance. And I just broke down. I thought, is this how I'm going to live for the rest of my life? Always stressed, always worried about money, never able to enjoy the things I love? I felt trapped, like I was stuck in this cycle of debt with no way out. I couldn't even imagine taking a vacation, or saving for a house, or even just going out with friends without feeling guilty about spending money. And that's when I knew I had to make a change. I didn't want to keep living like this. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted to be able to travel without worrying about my bank balance. I wanted to save for the future. Maybe even retire early one day. And most importantly, I wanted peace of mind. I wanted to wake up in the morning and not have that pit in my stomach every time I thought about my finances. So I decided enough was enough. I took control of my money. I made a plan. And now I'm on a mission to pay off this $10,000 in just 6 months. And I've already paid off $2,000 in the first month. Which feels like such a huge win. And I'm so excited to share the exact steps I'm using to make this happen. Because I know they can work for you too. So let's break down the 5 steps that changed my life and can change yours as well. Step 1. Face your debt head on. I know this sounds scary. And trust me, I was terrified to do it too. But you can't fix what you don't understand. So I sat down one evening with a notebook and a pen. And I wrote down every single debt I owed. I listed out that $4,000 in medical bills with a 5% interest rate. The $3,000 personal loan at 8% interest. And the $3,000 credit card debt at a whopping 18% interest. And when I added it all up, I realized I was paying $127.50 a month just in interest alone. That means every month, $127.50 of my hard-earned money was going straight to the banks. Not even touching the principal of my debt. And that was a huge wake-up call for me. Seeing those numbers on paper made it so real. It showed me exactly what I was up against. And honestly, it lit a fire under me. I thought, I'm not going to let these banks keep taking my money like this. I'm going to fight back. And that clarity gave me the motivation to take action. So I want you to do the same thing right now. Grab a pen and paper. Or open a note on your phone. And write down all your debts. The amounts, the interest rates, and your monthly payments. Don't skip this step. Because knowing your numbers is the foundation of your debt-free journey. And I promise, once you have that clarity, you'll feel empowered to take the next step. It's like shining a light on a problem you've been avoiding. It might be scary at first, but it's the first step to taking control. So pause this video if you need to. Go get those numbers, and then come back, and let me know in the comments, what's your total debt amount? I'd love to hear your story. And I'm here to support you every step of the way. Now that you've faced your debt, let's move to step 2. Build a freedom budget. I used to think budgeting was this boring, restrictive thing, like it was taking away all my fun. But I was so wrong. A budget is actually what gives you freedom, because it puts you in control of your money instead of letting your money control you. So here's how I did it. I make $3,000 a month from my job. And I use the 50-20-30ths rule, which is a really popular budgeting method in the US for managing money. 50% of my income, which is $1,500, goes to essentials like rent, groceries, and utilities. 20%, which is $600, goes to wants, like entertainment, maybe a movie night or the occasional coffee run. And 30%, that's $900, goes straight to paying off my debt. I track every single dollar using a budgeting app called YNAB. You need a budget, which is a total game changer for Americans looking to get their finances in order. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's helped me stay on track and see exactly where my money is going. For example, before I started budgeting, I had no idea how much I was spending on little things. I realized I was spending $50 a month on random subscriptions I didn't even use, like an old streaming service I forgot about, and another $30 on a gym membership I hadn't used in months. So I canceled those and put that money toward my debt instead. Budgeting has been absolutely key to paying off $2,000 so far. And it's something you can start today. So let me break it down even further. When I say essentials, I'm talking about things you absolutely need to survive, like your rent or mortgage, your utility bills, your groceries, gas for your car. Those are non-negotiable. For me, that's $1,500 a month. And I make sure I don't go over that. Then the 20% for wants is where you get to have a little fun. For me, that's $600, and I use that for things like going out with friends, maybe treating myself to a new book, or getting a coffee at Starbucks. But I'm careful not to overspend here, because I know that money could go toward my debt. And then the 30%, which is $900 for me, goes straight to debt repayment. And that's what's helping me make such fast progress. If you don't make $3,000 a month like I do, that's totally fine. You can adjust the percentages to fit your income. The key is to know where every dollar is going, so you're not just guessing at the end of the month. I also recommend using a budgeting app like YNAB, because it makes it so easy to track your spending. You can see in real time how much you've spent on groceries, how much you've got left for entertainment, and it even reminds you to stick to your budget. I used to think I could just keep track of everything in my head, but I was so wrong. I'd always overspend without realizing it. So if you're serious about getting out of debt and building financial freedom, start budgeting today. It's a small step that makes a huge difference. So what's your monthly income? And how are you going to budget it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're setting up your freedom budget. Moving on to step 3. Slash your expenses like a pro. This step is all about finding extra money to throw at your debt. And trust me, there's always something you can cut back on, even if you think you're already frugal. For me, I used to spend $200 a month eating out. I'm talking pizza deliveries on Friday nights, fast food runs during lunch breaks, grabbing takeout because I was too tired to cook. You name it, but I started meal prepping instead. I'd spend a Sunday afternoon cooking meals for the week. Things like chicken and rice, salads, or pasta dishes. I'd portion them out into containers, and I'd have lunches and dinners ready to go. And that alone saved me $200 a month. I also took a hard look at my subscriptions. I was paying $40 a month for Netflix, Hulu, and a couple of other services I barely used. So I canceled those, and I switched to a cheaper phone plan with Mint Mobile, which is super popular in the US. I went from paying $40 a month to $20, saving me another $20 altogether. That's $260 a month I freed up to put toward my debt. And it didn't even feel like a huge sacrifice, because I still let myself have small treats, like a $5 coffee once a week. or renting a movie for $2 instead of paying for a streaming service. So let's break this down a bit more. When I say slash your expenses, I mean really looking at your spending with a critical eye. Pull up your bank statement from the last month and go through every single transaction. Highlight anything that's not absolutely necessary. Maybe you're spending $100 a month on DoorDash. Or maybe you've got a gym membership you haven't used in a year. Or maybe you're paying for cable TV when you're already paying for Netflix and Hulu. Those are all things you can cut. And here's a tip, if you're not sure where to start. Try the 30-day no-spend challenge. It's something a lot of Americans do to reset their spending habits. For 30 days, you only spend money on essentials, rent, groceries, utilities, gas, and nothing else. No eating out, no shopping, no entertainment. I did this for the first month of my debt-free journey. And it helped me realize how much I was spending on things I didn't really need. I saved $260 that month. And I put every single dollar of that toward my debt. And it felt so good to see that balance go down. So take a look at your own spending. What can you cut? Maybe it's eating out. Maybe it's subscriptions. Maybe it's shopping for clothes you don't need. Or even things like your car insurance. You might be able to shop around and find a cheaper rate. Every dollar you save gets you one step closer to financial freedom. And here's the best part. Once you start cutting expenses, you'll realize you don't even miss those things as much as you thought you would. I used to think I needed to eat out to feel normal, but now I actually enjoy cooking at home. It's cheaper, healthier, and I feel so much more in control of my money. So what's one expense you can cut this month? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas. And maybe we can inspire each other. Now let's talk about step 4. Create multiple income streams. Because cutting expenses is great, but earning more money is what really speeds up your journey to financial freedom. I knew I needed to bring in extra cash to pay off my debt faster. Because just relying on my $3,000 a month from my job wasn't going to cut it. So I started this YouTube channel, The Budget Seed, and last month I made $200 from affiliate links, which felt amazing. I also started freelancing on Upwork, offering writing and data entry services, and that brought in $300 a month. On top of that, I sold some old stuff I had lying around on eBay, clothes I hadn't worn in years, an old phone I wasn't using, and some books that were just collecting dust. And that made me another $300. So that's $800 extra I was able to throw at my debt. And it made a huge difference. I paid off $2,000 in 1 month because of that extra income. And it felt so empowering to see that money go straight to my debt. So I want you to think about how you can create your own income streams. And don't worry if you don't have a lot of time. There are so many side hustles you can do that fit into your schedule. For example, if you have a car, you can drive for Uber or Lyft on weekends, or do grocery deliveries with Instacart. Both are super popular side hustles in the US. And I've heard people make $200 to $500 a month doing that part-time. If you're more of an online person, you can try online surveys with Swagbucks or Survey Junkie. I've heard people make $50 to $100 a month just doing that in their spare time. Maybe while they're watching TV. Or if you're creative, you can sell digital products on Etsy, like budget templates, planners, or even printables. I know someone who makes $500 a month selling budget spreadsheets on Etsy, and she only spends a few hours a week on it. The possibilities are endless, and even an extra $100 a month can make a big impact. For me, that $800 extra meant I could pay off $2,000 instead of just $900, so it really adds up. Here's another idea. If you've got a skill, like writing, graphic design, or even something like tutoring, you can offer your services on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. I started on Upwork with no experience. I just offered data entry services, and I charged $15 an hour. My first client paid me $150 for 10 hours of work. And that gave me the confidence to keep going. Now I'm making $300 a month, and I'm hoping to increase that to $500 soon. So think about what you're good at. Maybe you're great at organizing. You could help people declutter their homes. Or maybe you're good with kids. You could tutor online with platforms like VIP Kid. The key is to start small. Pick one side hustle, and just get going. Don't let fear hold you back. Because every extra dollar you earn gets you closer to financial freedom. So what side hustle are you going to try? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your ideas. And maybe we can share some tips. Finally, step 5. Invest in your future. Because financial freedom isn't just about paying off debt. It's about building wealth so your money works for you. So you can live the life you want without worrying about money. I'm not quite debt-free yet. I've still got $8,000 to go. But I'm already learning about investing so I can start as soon as I'm done with my debt. I'm planning to invest in low-cost ETFs, like the S&P 500, which tracks the top 500 companies in the US. Things like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and I'll do it through Robinhood, a free investing app that's really popular here. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. The idea is to start small, even $50 a month, because with compound interest, that money can grow over time. Let me break this down with an example. If you invest $50 a month at an average return of 7%, which is what the S&P 500 has historically averaged over the long term, after 30 years, you'd have over $60, and that's without adding any extra money. Just $50 a month. That's the power of compound interest. It's like planting a seed today that grows into a huge tree over time. But here's the key. You've got to pay off your high-interest debt first. Like credit card debt. Because if you're paying 18% interest on a credit card, but only earning 7% on investments, you're losing money. So focus on becoming debt-free. Then start investing to build real financial freedom. And here's a tip. While you're paying off debt, start learning about investing. Read books like The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. It's a great book that a lot of Americans recommend for beginners. Or listen to podcasts like The Dave Ramsey Show. Dave Ramsey is a financial expert here in the US. And he's got tons of advice on getting out of debt and building wealth. I've been listening to his podcast while I drive to work, and it's been so motivating. I also recommend setting a small goal for when you're debt-free. For me, I'm going to start with $50 a month, and I'll increase it as my income grows. Maybe to $100 or $200 a month. The key is to start small and be consistent. Because those small investments today will grow into something big tomorrow. So investing is the final step to financial freedom. It's what takes you from just being debt-free to being truly free. Free to live the life you want. Free to travel. Free to retire early. Free to spend your time on the things that matter most to you. So are you ready to invest in your future? What's one thing you're doing to prepare for it? Maybe you're reading a book. Or maybe you're just starting to learn about the stock market. Share in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're working on. These 5 steps: facing your debt, building a freedom budget, slashing expenses, creating income streams, and investing in your future, are transforming my life. And I know they can transform yours too. I've paid off $2,000 of my $10,000 debt so far. And I'm not stopping until I'm debt-free and financially free. I'm so excited to share this journey with you on the Budget Seed, and I'd love for you to join me. I'm on a mission to help people just like you take control of their money and build the life they've always wanted. And I can't do it without you. So if you're ready to make a change, if you're ready to stop letting money control your life and start building financial freedom, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. And let's grow our financial future together. I'd also love to hear from you. What's your biggest money goal? Are you trying to pay off debt? Are you saving for a house? Or maybe you're dreaming of retiring early. Share your story in the comments. Let's support each other on this journey. I read every single comment, and I'm here to cheer you on. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful you're here. And I'll see you in the next video. Seedling.